hemisphere are experiencing winter. So we're like at the top of the equator. So what do we decide for where we're experiencing? Okay, this one? Why is that?
Because we're all the way over here in the sun.
Okay, yeah. So when we're experiencing winter, we're tilted like away from the sun. It doesn't mean we're any closer or any further away, but we're just tilted away from the sun and not getting those like direct rays of sunlight. We're more like getting the spread out, less direct sunlight. So if you all want to label that, like the northern hemisphere on the very right Earth, that's when we're experiencing winter. So based on that, where do y'all think we're experiencing summer? Across it, yeah, because we're experiencing those direct rays, which are causing the weather to be warmer. So if we were in the southern hemisphere, where would we be experiencing winter?
During our summer.
Yep. So that's when they are pointed away, or like tilted further away from. So if y'all just want to label that, just to, like, as a reminder, I guess. And then when you go from the far right to the middle one, what are we experiencing in the northern hemisphere? Spring. Yep. And then what about the bottom one? What are we experiencing?
Autumn.
Fall. Okay, and then one last thing I want to talk about. So if you look at like the equator, do you guys think the equator experiences seasons based on the sunlight that's hitting it? Like, what do y'all know about being closer to the equator?
It's hot.
It's always hot, right? So like no matter what the season is, the equator is always kind of getting the same amount of sunlight. So they get really direct sunlight. So if you live right on the equator, then
So it's hot.
It's like always summer there.
Year long.
Yeah. So like even it's like when you go to Florida in the wintertime, that's why it's still 80 degrees. And then if you go further away in the northern hemisphere during the winter, it's cooler. So with that being said, we're going to go back to the probe. And we're going to, okay, so what do you guys think is the right answer based on what we just learned? Raul, why is that?
Because we were just talking about how the tilt changes of like where it hits.
I think it's Susan.
Okay. So, okay, y'all said like Fernando and Susan, right? We talked about that. Okay, so that's actually one of the biggest misconceptions about this, is that we are closer to the sun at a certain point of the year. But based on like Earth's orbit, I know it looks like really like oval-like, but it's almost like a circle. So if it's like circle is the same diameter around. So do you think that means that we're closer at one point? No. So for a circle, there's never a point that we're closer to the sun. So that kind of crosses out Fernando and Susan's answers, saying that we'd be closer in the summer than the winter, right? And it is actually true, because it is slightly elliptical, it is like a little oval-like. It is true that we're closer at one point, but it's actually during the winter time. So obviously that doesn't do anything because it's cold in the winter. So that leaves us to what answer again?
Raul.
Raul, which says it's because Earth's tilt changes the angle of sunlight hitting Earth. Okay, so then I just kind of want to go over like why some of the other ones couldn't be true. So Warner said it's because the winter clouds block heat from the sun. Why? Yeah, there's always clouds in the summer. Ava said it's because the sun gives off more heat in the summer than in the winter. Why would that not be true?
The sun always gives off like the same amount of heat. It just depends on where you are.
Yeah. Okay, and then Raul, we said was the right answer. And then why did we say Fernando's couldn't be right?
Oh.
Because we aren't necessarily closer to the sun.
Yeah, so when we are slightly closer, it's during the winter, so that's not causing any temperature changes whatsoever. And then Shakira said it's because one side of Earth faces the sun and the other side faces away. Why could this not be true?
Because it'd be dark all the time.
Okay, yeah, we're always revolving on an axis. And then this is basically like what Fernando said, why would Susan's not be right either?
We're closer to the sun in winter.
Yeah.
We're not really necessarily there.
Yeah, we're not even necessarily that close. Okay, so now I want you guys to like answer the bottom one that says describe your thinking and why it's warmer in the summer than in the winter. So just take a few minutes to do that.
Earth doesn't get closer to the sun. It's just the way that exactly. Okay. Now that we looked at, I bet you can each group information sheet for you to actually some research and read, and then I want you to do the final, erase your word for the final detailed explanation.
Okay, so does anyone want to share what their final explanation was for it being warmer in the summer than in the winter? Call on somebody.
I just said it's warmer in the center because of the tilt of the Earth. We're faced not like directly to the sun, but the tilt is so that we're like, yeah, because we talked about how the sun's like.
Yeah, so what is the main reason for the seasons that we want to take this?
The tilt.
Earth's tilt. So Earth, like when we first viewed this thing, and Earth was only on a 0-degree angle, would we experience any seasons if we weren't tilted? No. It would be like the same sunlight angle every day, the same temperature every day. The sun would come like the middle of the sky every day. So without Earth's tilt, we wouldn't have any seasons.